Well, hi, hello, welcome to Filling With News episode number 18.
Hello,
Hello,
peoples.
everyone.
In the chat, we have Wanger dispersed in from there. And Wanger also says their family's still here. Fair enough. Time whenever you need to. Anyway, on to news. Sunday, so it's probably going to be a little bit of a slow news day, but we shall soldier on. Load. Naked man riding scooter in heat wave tells German police it's too hot.
I love the titles you start out with, Scotty.
Always got to start with something funny. As Europe continues to roast, police were forced to pull over a man who was riding a scooter wearing nothing but a helmet and sandals. The naked rider claimed he was trying to cool down and simply defended his nudity by telling officers it's too hot. And thanks being fun for showing the stream on. The forest in Brandenburg Land, northeast Germany, showed images of a naked man to Twitter and wrote, "We can't disagree with what he said." They told the man to put some pants on and let him continue his trip. German meteorologists announced today that the 1947 record heat for June was broken in Constant, where 38.6 degrees Celsius was recorded, or war recorded, or war re-recorded, because, Metro doesn't know how to fucking write things. So who can blame him?
38.6. I can go with that tot.
Yeah, that's over 100 for you, isn't it?
Yeah, for us that'd be about 107, 108.
That's
Give or take.
low. I don't blame him.
I just like that he's not wearing anything but sandals and a helmet.
Yep.
I like that. I think it's actually it's one of those things where it's actually kind of wholesome, where the cop pulls him over, makes him put some pants on, says, "Okay, go about your way."
Yeah, over here you'd probably get charged for like indecent exposure or something.
Probably.
Temperatures are expected to exceed 40 degrees in many parts of the continent on Wednesday and Thursday. Large parts of Western and Central Europe sweltered in scorching weather, with German authorities imposing motorway speed limits amid fears of bulking road services. And some French schools will stay closed as a precaution. Really, is that a thing? Closing schools because it's too warm outside.
Yeah. There's a lot of areas that will close schools and then will close them for classes, but then open them up to the general public to be able to come in just for the air conditioning.
I mean, I've heard of schools. I've heard of schools being closed for snow, but for heat, that's there.
Yeah, they do for heat. See, it takes someone like Thunder there who doesn't have heat or doesn't have air conditioning in his home. When it gets extraordinarily, when it gets extremely hot, they'll say, people who are that susceptible to heat come to the school and just hang out at the school in the air conditioning.
Yeah. So that's what it's closed for then, for that.
Right, they'll close it so they can open it. They'll close it to students so they can open it to the public. Yeah. What do they call them when they do that, Thunder?
Cooling centers.
Yeah, cooling centers.
We do that for our firehouse.
Yeah, cooling centers or comfort centers or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Authorities have warned that temperatures could top 4 degrees in some parts of the continent. Over the coming days, there's a plume of dry air. News from that. He's moved north of Africa. Transport Ministry from Germany's eastern sanctioning Anhalt. They said there's a total speed limit of 52 miles per hour or 75 miles an hour on stretches of the road until further notice. Those stretches that have no speed limit, but officials fear might crack in the heat and dating it. I'm David Myers. That's a Hannah quote. I also have research at the University of Reading said along with the heat, along the build-up of community is potentially combination. Sounds awful. She said kids, the elderly, and people with underlying health conditions are particularly at risk. In France, some schools are expected to close because of the high temperatures. We're expected to go up to 39 degrees in the Paris area later this week and bake much of the country. From the Pyrenees in the southwest, in the southeast, the southwest to the border, and the German border in the northeast. Such temperatures are rare in France, and most many buildings do not have air conditioning. In Paris, authorities banned older cars in the city for the day as heat waves exaggerates the city's pollution. Regional authorities estimate that measures put into place on Wednesday affects nearly 60% of vessels circulating in the Paris region, including many delivery lorries and older cars with higher emissions than newer models. Violators face fines. See, I'm pretty sure they're just talking about the weather now. Got to part of the article somehow. Yeah, moving on.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually kind of happy it's only about 30 degrees right now.
Still pretty warm, at least for me in here.
Yeah.
Texas women banned from Walmart after eating half a cake and demanding to pay half price.
But I only ate half of it.
Yep. Well, the half's still good. A Texas woman was banned from a local Walmart after police say she ate half a cake and refused to pay for the missing portion. Wichita Falls police were called to a Walmart on Greenbrier Road just after 8 p.m. Tuesday after receiving calls that a woman walked around the store eating half a cake and refused to pay for the whole item. Department's spokesman officer Jeff Hughes told the Wichita Falls Times Record News the suspect, who was not identified, into the bakery section of the store and proceeded to eat half of the cake while walking through the aisles. Once at the register, the woman demanded half off because she was only buying half a cake. He says she refused to pay.
A woman walks into a Walmart, eats half a cake. What does she have? Diabetes.
Probably.
Oh, people do this all the time with the deli crap. They'll walk through the store eating it and then just leave the wrapper on a shelf.
Yep. See it done all the time.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, to be honest, my wife and I do that with our son. We'll grab, how you get like the pre-cut up watermelon and cantaloupe and all that. We'll buy him one of those cups of the pre-cut up melons like that and let him eat it as we go throughout the store. But the thing is, by the time we get to the register, we hand them the empty cup and say, okay, here, don't forget to ring us up for this.
Right. But these people are setting bags of bones and cups with the popcorn, chicken, and shrimp and stuff like that to eat what they want out of it and then set the cup on the shelf.
Well, Crappy, you and I have seen that firsthand.
Yep.
Yeah. I suspect he was not going to get a
I was gonna say it's gotten to where it at some stores, a lot of stores in America, it's a matter of they know they're gonna do that, or they know the customers are gonna do that, so they just put trash cans everywhere. If you're gonna eat the food out of there and throw it away, at least throw it in a trash can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, once at the Jill Money paid for the whole cake when the police arrived, and she was barred from the store for theft. A similar incident took place at another Wichita Falls Walmart earlier this year, when another woman was banned off the police say she rode around the parking lot in an electric cart while drinking wine from a Pringles can.
She was in a cart too. She was in a damn scooter. That's awesome. God damn, any more stereotypes than that?
It's pretty redneck.
You're
Isn't it?
drinking wine from a Pringles can. I don't think you're that sophisticated.
Yeah.
She's
That's just.
drinking wine from a Pringles can, eating half a cake on a mobility scooter. Awesome.
Why don't you just drink wine out the bottle at that point?
Are you kidding? You kidding with the amount of sophistication this woman has? Her wine comes in a box.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
It's pretty redneck, though, isn't it?
It's pretty redneck.
Thing is, the wine just poured into the Pringles can, or was it just like a bottle in the Pringles can itself?
She probably poured it into a Pringles can. The Pringles can in America is not big enough to fit a wine bottle in it. I love it. I love it.
Teacher told to use umbrella to protect himself from dive bombing seagulls.
All right, Scotty, you live around seagulls. Does that work?
I don't know. I just know that fucking seagulls are a pain in the arse.
Are seagulls like? I know there are some birds that only dive bomb people they don't like. What did he do to the birds? That's my question.
Well, usually
They may have hurt.
over here,
Go ahead, Scotty.
well, usually around like summertime, so then this time of year they'll have their like babies on the roofs, and so they'll dive bomb anybody who like walks past, pretty much.
Although, shoot, I can't remember what university it is, but like 50 years ago, they had the students wear a mask and harass the birds. 50 years later, every once in a while, a student will put on one of the masks and walk out. There are still birds dive bombing them. That is generational hatred.
Yeah, because birds have a very good memory for that kind of thing.
Yeah, but then also remember that seagulls, they get really used to humans really quickly, and then they'll turn really bold to the point where they'll try to steal food from people.
Yeah,
So
I saw a
not-
video.
Yeah.
I saw
They're
that
not scared
exact
of humans
video.
at all.
Like the guy literally had like the fish in his mouth, and the seagull just yanked it.
Yeah.
so, like, where the fucking hell is everybody? Because there's like nobody in my chat. Anybody actually watching this thing? Anybody
It's
out there?
Sunday. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
Sunday, the only one I don't know if is Sir Six still streaming.
I think Peter's still streaming the fucking quick.
Oh, well,
yeah, Peter's still streaming.
Quick. Yeah. Streaming over me.
You
Maria,
fucking
what up?
bitch!
Hello.
Hello.
Nobody ever fucking told you if you're gonna jump in front of the tractor trailer, make sure you're going the same goddamn speed. You fucking inbred cunt.
You tell her.
If we get road rage on this thing, you'll get on fucking Peter's thing.
People get really intense with that.
What, road
Teaching
rage?
Yes, especially here.
Well, this thunder cunt in the DC area deserves it.
Oh yes, dude. Good luck with all that. I'm dreading it a little bit, but I'm excited.
Depends on what time you get there.
I dread it a whole lot.
Crappy.
Hold up, is that 5 lanes wide?
Yeah.
Oh no, it is.
Yeah.
Fuck the
I ain't
animal
never-
girl. There's rage. Yeah, there is rage. Road rage.
I ain't never seen a 5-lane wide highway.
Oh,
Obviously, you've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
been to California. They have 8, 9 lanes wide.
I have never left Michigan. Well, except for like Indiana to a pop shop.
You gotta get out.
yeah.
Hmm.
I ain't got the money to get out.
And that's why I'm sort of doing this too.
You're doing the wrong place to get out on the wrong week.
I know, right?
Yes.
Actually, Crappy, from what she told me from what she said to me earlier, which, by the way, Cuban, that's why I was asking if your ears were burning. You ever hear that whole
Yeah.
if your ears are burning? Yeah, Crappy. I was actually talking to Crappy about it.
Oh yeah.
Crappy, from what she told me, she got she managed to get herself a hotel near the tundra.
Yeah, it's big, bro. Like in Jettison, yeah. A teaching assistant who is attacked by swooping seagulls every time he leaves his house was told to use an umbrella as protection. Tom Ellis was forced to shield himself from the birds after they just nested above his bungalow doorway in Preston, Wales. Eyes in Wales, I'm a fucking.
My question is, do they say open it up so the bird will hit the umbrella instead of him, or wield that damn umbrella like a freaking sword and smack their little asses out there?
It'll stop them from like getting on his head and stuff, I guess, and shitting on him.
Sounds horrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot in the summer as well.
Like that movie Birds.
It's pain in the arse.
Yeah.
The girls have now hatched 2 chicks and fiercely defend the nest every time Mr. Ellis comes and goes. Yep, same thing happens to me. When he calls authorities to complain about the attacks, after being hit in the head one day, he was advised to use an umbrella. So here's the thing: over in the UK, you can't. Seagulls are protected.
Why? They're not endangered.
Of course they are.
Well, then, if that's the case, somebody should be coming out and relocating them so they're not attacking people.
There's a limit to what they can do, though, because because they can't do anything over here. What they do is they put spikes on the roofs and stuff that may stop them, but doesn't actually stop them.
Oh. Damn.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, if I was being attacked by seagulls, I would be using a pellet gun on them. Or like a Daisy Red Rider.
Like I said, you can't do that in the UK, though, because they're protected.
I don't give a shit if they're protected. I don't want to be attacked. Self-defense.
I mean, they shouldn't be. I mean, they're a fucking pain in the arse. Why would you want to protect them?
There's also way too many seagulls for them to be protected. What the? Your government's all messed up.
Okay,
You
yeah.
need to get your ass over to
And
the.
I
this
don't know if you
continent.
want to talk. If you want to talk protected species and how protections and all with all that thunder, go record yourself killing a praying mantis and see what happens.
I would never kill a praying mantis. They're too cool to kill. Are they actually protected?
$750 fine.
If I had $750, I'd borrow another $50 and buy me a new computer.
He said, I can't go out and enjoy the sun. My nieces and nephews can't come and visit, especially with them attacking and swooping. They're always there in the house behind has a roof on the nest. Has a nest on the roof, too. So they have surrounded me. Here's the thing as well, they don't fucking sleep with seagulls either. Like 4 in the morning, they'll just start like chirping. It's like, why? Do you ever sleep?
Shit. Bitch, my lane.
They've attacked several times, narrowly missing my head. I called the council and advised. They advised me to use an umbrella for protection until they have moved on. The RSPB said there's nothing they can do either, as they say seagulls are a protected species, even though they shouldn't be because they're fucking annoying. I'm literally stuck trying to avoid attacks when I leave the house. He said the nest is just 3 feet above his door. And the birds are always ready, wanting to strike. Oh man, I'm pretty bird phobic anyway. I can't leave the house without fear of being attacked.
Ooh, we should find out who this is and just send them like a copy of that Alfred Hitchcock movie.
It says his name is Tom Ellis and he lives in Wales. So I find him that way. I don't know. The RSPB estimate the birds will stay around for 5 to 6 weeks, which means he's in for a summer long of attacks.
Hey, Thunder.
Yeah.
Seagulls are protected in the U.S. too.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Aren't there? There's
Because
tons of seagulls.
Right. They
Because they're
scavenge your
foraging.
beach.
Right, you get a dead fish wash up. They'll eat the fish long before it becomes toxic to anybody else.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Now I understand. Now I'm in support of, well, not killing the seagulls, but figuring out a way to shoo it away from my house. Or
You ought to
the
try
house.
hooking one on a rod and reel.
You can do that.
You throw bait in the water trying to catch fish, and if the bait is slow sinking, they will dive in the water and pick that bait up with a hook in it. Then they get hooked. They will beat you to death before you can get that hook out. Seen it done, about beat my daughter to death.
Wait, I got better for you, Crappy. Carney's Point, New Jersey, the Pilot Flying J. Open up a bag of chips outside of your truck, see what happens.
Oh yeah.
They will steal that bag. I've seen it done. All right, Scotty.
What? The homeowner is concerned about his safety and argues more should be done to remove them. He said, I get they're just protecting their babies, but he would be responsible if they did seriously hurt someone. It feels like the birds have more rights than I do. I don't want them killed, I just wish there was some way some way to them safely removed. That sentence didn't make any sense. Spokesperson for the RSPB said, all species of gull are protected under the Wildlife and Country Act 1981. This makes it illegal to intentionally injure or kill any gull or damage, destroy an active nest or contents. Traditional gull nest sites include cliffs, sand dunes, islands on the coast, and other inaccessible locations. However, some less are blocked. Black-backed herring and herring gulls have successfully adopted roofs for nesting. And so they can attack everybody every time they leave their house. I know from experience. They're a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, if a bird attacks me at my house, he doesn't attack but one time.
Do you shoot him?
Yes, sir. Take a 12 gauge and light him up.
If I did that here, I'd end up in jail. So.
I ain't worried
Hey,
about anybody reporting me.
Well, I guess you live like you live in the middle of nowhere, though, don't you?
Yeah.
So there's nobody who
Hey,
could report you.
hey, Crappy.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you just what this electronic sign I just passed under said, and tell me if your thought is the same as mine. It says, special event 7-4 DC. Expect closures and delays. Is your
Yeah.
thoughts the same as mine, where you think, yeah, no shit?
Yeah. Don't come in unless you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Schoolgirls
Cuban,
bond.
how much of a supply of anti-anxiety meds do you have? Oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe she's having
Never
problems.
mind.
Schoolgirls banned from wearing skirts and must wear gender-neutral trousers. One woman has
Really?
accused. Yep. One woman has accused Appleton Academy in Bradford, West Yorkshire, of being sexist and said the new uniform rule was disgusting. Secondary schools' decision to ban skirts in favour of gender-neutral trousers have been branded absolutely ridiculous. Female students in Appleton Academy in Bradford, West Yorkshire, are up in arms after they were as of September they will not be allowed to wear skirts and will be trousers only. A letter home from the head teacher, Miss Helen Jones, stated they are banning skirts in order to create a gender-neutral uniform. Why? What do you need a gender-neutral uniform for?
That sounds to me like it's. I mean, that sounds like almost too predictable to me. To where, I mean, it sounds almost predictable enough to where they started fussing about girls wearing skirts because some girls didn't identify as girls and they were supposed to be allowed to wear trousers and all that. And everybody warned about the escalation to where they'd ban gendered clothing. And the people who were always talking about allowing the girls, you know, to wear something other than the skirts were saying, oh, no, this will never happen. Well, it happened.
I like the stories better where they ban the boys from wearing shorts. So the next summer, the boys all come in skirts.
I mean,
Yeah, but that was a protest.
Oh, that's how they made kilts, right? Because they weren't allowed to wear shorts, so that's how they created kilts. That's totally the history
Hi,
of the
blind
kilt.
girl.
Hi.
Your brother gone, has he?
Yeah, I know we're live. I still have family in the background, but I figured I'd say hi and stuff.
Oh,
Will Sockbat be home or be able to join us on the stream later?
Oh, Sockbait is so joining us on the stream later, that callous prick that he is.
Callous prick and callous prick's mom are here.
I like him. I like him.
Well, hello, Hazel.
Hello, how are you? Now that you have
I'm
blind
good.
girl and callous prick, what's my name gonna be?
Blind girl's mom?
Okay,
Hazel. We'll just call you Hazel.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your stream. Apparently people are mic happy.
You do my stream every day anyway, so kind of used to it.
I contribute intellectual thought, like that's how the kilt was made, because boys can't wear shorts.
No, because
Really?
Oh wait, we're supposed to be contributing intellectual thought.
the
I
kilt
gotta
was
go.
several thousand years old.
The concept of kilts is they had to wear something, and so they just wrapped a hunk of cloth around their waist.
And in fact, the kilt wasn't even Scottish. But yeah.
I thought it
No,
was to
actually-
hide more knives.
Actually, what could be considered a kilt? I mean, we're talking as far back as Egyptian.
Yeah, it's not even Scottish. It just became associated with Scotland.
Yeah,
And Irish people sometimes wear them as well. So, yeah.
it's the festive patterns. It's all the pretty colors.
Oh, the pretty colors.
I kind of like it plain green.
And they come in some very nice colors.
Tartans, or yeah, tartans come in very nice colors. Or for those in the U.S. and Canada, plaid.
Why do you call it plaid when it's quite clearly tartan?
It's just the word we use. I don't know. I don't.
What,
If
you
I
have
sit-
something against the word plaid, Scotty? What the hell?
What?
Then what do
You
you
have
call a
something
plaid
against the word
shirt?
plaid?
Because it's tartan, that's why.
Okay. What do bull dykes wear in your country?
I don't know.
Leather.
Probably.
Scotty, when he says bulldogs, he's talking to lesbians that'll walk up to you. Hi, my name's Alice. I own my own trucking business. This is my
They
wife.
usually wear a plaid shirt for whatever reason.
It's basically like Lindsay from fucking Queer Kid stuff, man.
Oh my
Oh
god,
no,
that's
no,
all.
no.
No, yeah,
Oh,
Lindsay's
no.
a whole nother thing.
Yeah, Lindsay. Which, oh my God, have I got a story for you, Scotty, later afterwards?
Yeah, let her home
Got a
from the
dick
head.
enlargement?
Hmm?
Nothing.
No, somebody
You're
in,
saying I've got a
I
small
think it was,
penis. You're being correct.
Chadwick's Discord. Somebody had just mentioned that apparently Lindsay did TED Talks.
She did, and I hate that they called her something like the gay Mr. Rogers. I'm like,
Oh, God.
no,
Yeah, I remember that.
no, for the
Yeah.
love of God, no.
Yeah, I remember talking about that after Blind Ghosty on Friday, I think it was. Anyway,
Hello, Maria.
a letter sent home from the head teacher, Miss Ellen Zone, said they're banning skirts in order to create a gender-neutral uniform and to stop girls hiking skirts up to inappropriate lengths. Gay Satan. But the girls are considering getting a petition together in a bid to reverse the decision. The academy was placed in the requires improvement category in last Ofsted report in 2016.
Wait a minute. Aren't uniforms supposed to make people kind of fall in line with the school's agendas? Like, I think it's funny that the school is caving to have gender neutral stuff when the uniforms are clearly there to keep people between the lines. And now they're bending a knee when the whole point of uniforms was to keep people between the lines.
They're not
And-
neutral
So-
enough.
Yeah,
My
like, I'm
question
finding it very
is-
interesting because they're like, you know what? Fuck it. You're all the same. You women, men. I when I think of a private school that has uniforms, I think of something very conservative. And so I find it interesting that they had kowtowed to gender neutrality.
Yeah, same as
when
the public school.
well, I mean, I
So
still
what
think
size are the
schools that adopt that, are very between the lines, very rigid. It's interesting, very interesting. They've kowtowed to this gender neutrality shit when they've got uniforms involved.
I don't know how trousers can get any more neutral.
Hello, Stacey, man.
So, what size are the pockets on gender neutral trousers? Are they closer to male pockets or closer to female pockets?
Well, I assume because they're gender neutral to be the same, wouldn't they? The same size, like, depending on. I guess it depends
my
on
question
what sizes you're wearing, I guess. Obviously,
My
a bigger
big question
pair
is,
of
what would
trousers
the gusset look like?
Yeah, well, you know what really sucks about that is women and men have different hip formations and ass formations and shit. So, like, when you got women's pants made for a woman, they're nice unless they're hipsters. When you got man's pants made for men, they're kind of comfy. If you got, like, gender neutral pants, they're not going to fit either gender. It's going to be Franken pants.
When I wear my uniform, I actually, like a very old one, I had to actually get male pants because they were more straight through the leg, because the female pants actually were made for wide hips, and it just looked like I had flaps. So
Oh,
they
it
were like,
looked
"You
like-
look so sharp," and I'm like, "Thank you," but nobody really noticed that it was like the male uniform. I don't know.
Oh, so it looked like those the old pants that like the old think like James Dean era. Some of the think like the James Dean English biker movies where they've got wings hanging off the side of their pants.
What that is?
Looked like that.
Oh, is that the spider that I didn't kill? 1 minute, I gotta kill a spider.
Hello, honey monster.
Hello, honey monster. Gender neutral.
Hello, honey monster.
Gender neutral pants are tracksuit bottoms. Yeah, I guess so. And yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
The school has 1,300 pupils from age 3 to 16, but it is only the secondary school for age pupils who are affected, so age between 12 and 16, I guess. Oh, wait, no, I thought it's England, so it'll be like 11 or 16, isn't it? I don't fucking know, because England's different from Scotland when it comes to education, so yeah. Fun fact, in case you didn't know. 1 year 10 student who doesn't want to be named said, "I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I really don't like having a choice taken away from me."
My brother just outmanned you,
You're
Scott.
going to a school with uniforms. Choice is already taken with you, away from you.
How do they outman me?
He finally killed that spider I broke my broom on.
How do you know it's the
That's
same
a tough
spider? It could be a
Oh, freaking out.
Because
That's a
it's
tough
just
broom.
the same spider.
Or that's a
Could be
tough
completely
spider to
different
break a broom.
Yep.
Now,
so
the
my brother
spider,
saved
if
me
you broke
from
a
the
broom,
spider.
or you like
so
all you managed to do is give him a weapon.
And also, pretty much any bug that comes into my vicinity dies. You fly into my face, you're gonna die. So
okay, yeah. Well, my
Honey
brother did
monster, a point I.
your job at the moment. So
how's it my job when I'm 3,000
Honey
miles
monster, a
away?
point I made him.
I mean,
Honey monster, a point I actually made a few minutes ago on that was. At one point, the girls were wearing skirts and everybody was fussing about them having the option of wearing pants. And it's actually just kind of slid already to the girls are no longer allowed to wear skirts. So,
Wait till they force the boys to wear bras and have period slippery slope. Yeah.
some of us may be a little bit on the chubby side and could probably use a bra, to be honest.
Are you admitting you admitting you need a bra then?
Maybe A.
are you admitting you have man boobs?
Yes. Why? I'm trying to lose weight. It's just a pain in the ass.
I think it is unfair that a guy like me who fucking eats 1 or 2 meals a day is still fat as fuck. Like that's not very fair, is it?
Yeah, eat 2 meals a day, exercise like hell, don't lose any weight.
I was nowhere near as fat as I was, or as fat as I am now. I was nowhere near it until I became diabetic. Figure that shit out.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it? I think people that can just eat everything all day and still stay skinny. I think fuck you.
Well, the thing is, it can also be said to it can also be said it's the fact that I've also got old.
Moves. Yes, moves. Make sure to never skip breakfast. Big deal, I haven't had breakfast in years.
Getting old
I
has
had to get
nothing
a
to
piece
do
for
with it.
breakfast.
Are you sure, Crappy?
Yes.
Well, he would know he's the oldest one on here. So.
Yeah. Ow. Ow. Why did I go this way?
2 meals sounds like it might be jacking you with your metabolism, maybe. Because I've heard like if you eat like don't eat very often, then your body will retain that fat or something like that.
Yeah, sometimes it can work against you, but
Because they say you're supposed to have like eat like small meals throughout the day or something like that. So like have like 4 small meals or something. I feel like who the fucking hell has time to eat 4 small meals a day? Like, can men breastfeed if their tits get over a certain size? Funny how they haven't insisted men can breastfeed too. They probably have somewhere.
I've heard of men lactating, but I don't know the details, and I don't. Well, I'd rather
Cancer.
not try any
If
breast milk. Yeah,
if a man lactates, it's cancer, and it's helped along by steroids, which also makes the jewels shrivel into sun-dried tomatoes.
then you probably shouldn't drink it.
So women lactate, it means life for baby. When men lactate, it means you're gonna die. Awesome.
Pretty much.
When women lactate,
And
they
yes, I pulled and yes, I pulled the whole roids will make the family jewels shrivel to sun-dried tomatoes. I pulled that from Pauly Shore, yes.
when women lactate, their tits get bigger. So, excuse me for
Not all women.
that. I will avoid I'll avoid male breast milk like the plague. Then. Maybe at
How
least we-
hard? How hard do you have to try to avoid male breast milk?
Well, okay, let's be fair about something. If women lactate, it's a good thing that most men don't lactate. I mean, come on, we'd be setting up red Solo cups in a pyramid trying to shoot them down.
True.
Be squirting each other in the face and shit. Anyway,
Male breast milk is very common in Scotland. No, it's not. Not that I know of, anyway. Maybe I live in a different area than you, but I don't think it is. Anyway, some say that wearing a skirt makes you look like a tart and other things like that. It's just a piece of clothing I don't understand. The mum of the people at the school, who also wanted to remain anonymous, said, "I think it's disgusting and I
What does the fox say?
What the fucking hell was that?
Green
That would be my mother.
Does she want to be on the stream as well, does she?
Go put her in her place, Green.
Apparently.
did she just come in and yell, "What did the fox say?"
Yes, she did.
Oh, see?
She's
I can see
special.
where you get it from. I can see where you get it from now, being from there. They're not going to go and force the boys to wear skirts. Women from all generations before wore skirts without any problems. What's changed now? What's really annoying is that this is the first any of us have heard about the change, which was on social media. We didn't get the letter until a day later. Exceed Academy Trust, which runs the school, said a letter has been sent to parents this week and will be followed up before the end of the year, informing of this change in order to allow families as much time as possible to prepare for the start of the school year. The minor policy change means that from September 2019, the uniform for all secondary school students is changing to trousers only.
Wait a minute. What grades are this school?
It says it's the secondary school, so it'll be like 12 to 16.
Wait. Okay, 12 to 16-year-olds. Because I'm like, why does a middle school even need to think about gender neutrality yet?
It's not a middle school, it's a secondary school. There's only
Okay,
two
well-
sections. Primary school and a secondary school.
They only had the two school systems, blind girl.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering at what ages they were doing this, because like it just hit me like if they were doing this to like a primary school, I would have been like, wait, why do you even need gender neutral uniforms at that point?
Oh, it's 11
Right,
to
but
16.
the thing is, the reason I was mentioning that is they don't have a elementary, middle, high school. It's just primary and secondary, isn't it, Scotty?
Yeah, and Honey Monster's correct me. It's 11 to 16 because it's England. In Scotland, it would be 12 to 16, but in England, it's 11 to 16 too. Yeah.
Someone on this stream may not be paying attention. I see something in the group Facebook chat.
So it's 11 to 16 then.
There's always things in the group Facebook chat, Green. Stop ratting me out.
Should I be glad I'm not?
Oh God!
Should I be glad that I'm not in the group Facebook chat?
No, you're missing out on all the cute things.
I am not letting a
Nope.
Dotson get a hold of my teddy bear. What the crap?
Thing is, though, that
Me too.
it used to just be she would send me pictures of fucking cats and stuff, and then everybody else wanted them for some bizarre reason.
Yep, go ahead and add me to it if you want to, blind girl. There's
Sweet.
another thing on Facebook I'll ignore.
I turned the notifications off for it because it was annoying. I was getting like 30 messages a day from it, so I was like, nope.
Oh, so that must be Green's phone going ding.
Yeah,
It's
'cause I
I
turned
think
mine off.
it's my tablet over in the chair under. I don't know where my tablet is. It's over there in the other direction.
Eh.
Another reason for the change is the gender neutral in line with the policy in the majority of secondary schools. It simplifies the uniform and removes the issue of people's wearing skirts at an inappropriate length. Why don't you just make skirts? Why don't you just say there's a certain length that the skirts should be in?
I
Instead of
think they
just-
do. I'm pretty sure they do say there's a certain length they can be, but kids fucking do it anyway because they're kids. I mean, what kid likes to follow the rules? Too cool for school, don't you know?
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure, like, fucking, I don't see why you need. I'm not a big fan of school uniforms anyway, to be honest.
Why not?
I don't think you should force people just to wear fucking.
It's great. Uniforms are fantastic. I mean, the poor kids and the rich kids all have to wear the same shit, so you don't know which one is which until they go to lunch.
Yeah, but what happens if they're very poor and can't afford the school uniform?
Okay, so my brother says just have the kids go to school naked. That'll solve all the problems.
True, it will, but
And cause a few more.
Yeah.
make it a nudist school, yeah. That's an idea.
You won't be able to deny gender differences then.
Would the nude law also include the teachers as well, or just the pupils?
Yeah. They'd have to accept gender differences if everyone just went to school naked. It just, 5 seconds you'd do it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to lie about what the gender was either.
Yeah.
Change room you use matches your jump.
I used to have to wear a cap in the first and second years of my secondary school. So I had to wear a tie.
Wait, a nudist school. I just realized a nudist school where the teachers are nude too. Van Halen's gonna get a whole new following. I got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm a hot teacher. Anyway,
In response to the policy change, the reaction from our pupils has been very mature. They've calmly asked the reason behind their decision and politely accepted the explanation provided. The cap was in addition to a full uniform, including a tie. Yeah, I didn't have to wear a cap. I had to wear a tie, though. No one face it.
I'll be back. I'm going to go have a shower because I procrastinated all day.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, you should be. I told my brother if he wants to come annoy you to come sit in my chair.
All right. The majority of parents have responded with positive feedback and they're supportive of the change and understand the reasons for it. Pupils have been reminded of the ways in which they have contacted the school if they're concerned, and we will happily support them with this change and lead up to the end of the school year. A series of assemblies will be held and fully informing pupils of this minor change to uniform, and in addition, will go to parents before the end of the year. I just think it's pretty fucking stupid. But then again, I don't like school uniform anyway, so school uniforms prevent an arms war if you can turn up in the most expensive shit. If here's the thing, though, what happens if the person can't afford a school? What happens if the parent's really poor and can't afford a school uniform? What happens then? Then that just causes problems. Anyway, I'm muted on my tablet. Where's Coffee's leg on?
Depending on the area he's in, he could have lost signal. His wife could have called.
Yeah, make them wear uniforms outside of school. I'm pretty sure in North Korea they do that, don't they? Or like if you're in like a school, you have to wear the uniform all the fucking time or something.
Yeah, most Asian companies or most Asian countries have some sort of uniform like that.
Ohio women who slipped on workplace force line that casino awarded $3 million. $3 million. $3 million for that.
Really?
Because the sign fell over. Right.
So okay.
All right.
Some
I will
court
be back
cases,
as soon as I can.
No,
sometimes people need to be hit upside the head with a newspaper. Like, no, you're just being stupid. The sign fell over. Knock it off.
mentioning Asians, here comes Cryptic with saying nudes.
I told you $5. Then I said nudes.
Thing is, one, Cryptic, you spelled it wrong, and two, no nudes for you. We all know you like penis, but you're not getting it. An Ohio woman slipped and fell on the floor on a wet floor sign at Jack Casino in Cincinnati and was awarded $3 million last week by a Hamilton County jury. And Linda Sadowski on scales comes in saying sex. Agreed. I agree with that. Has ventured towards the sign in September 2016, which has been knocked over as a result of a customer earlier that day. Unaware it was on the ground, she tripped and fell and suffered injuries as a result. Yeah, I'd slip for half that as well. I'd slip for like a fucking quarter of that, man. Like, fuck, I'd get fucking raped for that much, man. Happily. A Hamilton County jury found that Jack Casino failed to use ordinary care and failed to maintain a safe environment, resulting in Sadowski's injury. According to the Cincinnati Enquirer. An attorney, Matt Najima. What the fuck is that?
That would be my cat meowing. Why?
That's
What's
a weird-
that? She's like very quiet.
That's a weird meow.
Yeah, she's being annoying.
I'll keep an eye out for those wet floor signs. Eventually for it. That wouldn't be rape then, Scotty, yeah, but I wouldn't like it though. I'd like the money. Yeah, for anyway, people. In a way, I wouldn't enjoy it though, but I just enjoy getting the money afterwards. So in a way, it could be considered rape. An attorney, Matt Thornton, said a Jack Casino employee had walked around the sign without picking it up just moments before the injury. The casino had no safety policies in place for floor inspection or floor prevention. I had no criticism of the boys in failure to pick up the chip hazard, even though its own internal documents found her at fault. I mean, if she's at fault, then why the fucking hell is she getting $3 million? I mean, she's gonna be fucking delighted at this though. Fucking $3 million. Foreman said the casino's callous disregard for their customer safety was on display throughout the trial. Sadowski sustained a broken kneecap, which required surgery to insert metal hardware into her knee. And she now has arthritis where the fracture occurred. And she says her mobility has worsened. Pouring out of the second knee surgery may be necessary. Jack Casino argued that the wet force sign was visible and Sadowski had simply failed to see it. Yeah, I mean, okay, if she was fucking blind or something, then yeah, okay. I could see why you would not be able to see it, but really? According to the Cincinnati Enquirer, the attorney at the casino said that injuries resulted mainly from her failure to pay attention to her surroundings. I think they're probably correct on this one. She cannot recover from her injuries because she had superior or equal knowledge of the alleged hazard, casino stated. According to Sadowski's complaint, she suffered permanent bodily harm, her medical expenses, as well as pain and suffering due to casino's carelessness and negligence. Yeah, the injuries caused Sadowski to lose enjoyment of her good health. Yeah, but to say, I don't know, what's worth more, having a dodgy knee or 3 million? What would you rather have? Nobody?
I'll take 3 million.
The casino is just getting 3 million of advertising for talking about it. Maybe. But then again, it could also have the opposite effect, though, where people see this and decide I'm not going to go there, depending on how they see it. In April 2019, Jack Entertainment, the parent company of Jack Casino, announced the contract to sell the property of. I already have bad knees, so money. Sell the property for $745 million to Vixie Properties and Hard Rock International. Hard Rock will acquire the assets and rebrand it Hard Rock Casino Cincinnati. The woman will turn out to be the owner. Or it could be the previous owner trying to get more money out of them, I guess. Hello, Jen. Anyway, moving on.
Why are you saying hi to your operating system?
She means me. She means always being sure of an opinionated Scotsman, obviously.
Well, it's most commonly used as operating system.
I don't know. Half-eaten man's remains found next to giant 11-foot alligator in Florida. Police were called to the horrifying scene by a local and then had to retrieve the man's mangled corpse. The half-eaten remains of a man have been found lying next to an 11-foot alligator in Florida. Police were called to the There you go. Green Thunder, still there?
I'm going to have to put 2 and 2 together and say the alligator did it.
Yeah. If OS was short for my operating system, if OS was my operating system would probably be able to function. Jen, are you saying that I can't function? You'd be correct. You'd be correct, but you'd have to say it, you know. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yep. Well, better than it does. Is that man going to make a fuel recovery? No. It's all circumstantial and what. No, I'm saying you do, but saying you would do it better. Oh, thanks for that. Police were called to the horrifying scene after being contacted by a local worker in Polk County last Thursday. By the time officers arrived, the gator has already let go, but was still nearby. Local news station WFL reported. The Polk police, the Polk County Sheriff said, the station the man's body was found in a canal around 7:45 a.m. If you ever watch me stream, it's bet on how much my computer quickly crashes. I had the same problem with my internet. I've lost count of the amount of times my internet has died on this stream. It's several times. So I should take bets on it. Officials from Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission reported and assessed. Yeah, he's a big bastard, isn't he? The gator was shot and killed by FWC and taken to a medical examiner's office along with the man's body, officials said. They want to examine the contents of the alligator's stomach. It was a large alligator about 11 foot 10 inches long and weighed approximately 445 pounds. Ashley Tyler, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, told the station. The Polk County Sheriff's Office spokesman added that it's possible the man died several days ago. And the gator had disengaged from the body by the time that officials responded, according to the sheriff's office. The body does not look like it has something related to the alligator. Well, I'm pretty sure it was something to do with the alligator. I mean, pretty sure an 11-foot alligator would. No, I refuse to believe it wasn't. Connie Horston with ECSO told the channel. Oh, the alligator was cute in the Dr. Seuss dictionary. I know different now. Yeah, you should know different. We're really not at liberty to say much right now. It's possible that the alligator did something to this person either before or after his death. Investigators do not have any information on the cause of death at this early stage. The sheriff's office told, a spokesman said. An autopsy will be conducted to determine the cause of death and the man's identity and how long he was dead for. Vessel was no instructor. A vessel was towed away from the scene. Law enforcement is working to determine why the man was on the property. Oh, because he's an idiot, I guess. I don't know.
Either way, I'm going back. He got Aiken.
Yeah, the alligator raped him there. Welcome back, Rafi. Yeah, so he got Aiken and died immediately. Right, I'm just going to roll a flag. We're going with the next article. Because, we're very professional here, as always.
All right, so who's in?
Okay, there we go. I'd flush the alligator down the loom once he got more than a foot in size. Grew up in the stadiums and became a huge mutant. Yeah.
But yeah, have you seen the ones in the subsewer?
No, I haven't.
Futurama reference. There was actually no, wait, those were crocodiles flushed down the sewer of New York. And then once they got even too large for the mutants to take care of, they got flushed into the subsewer.
I could beat the alligator with my bare hands. I'd like to see that. Big bro,
Technically, all you go.
I like my alligator battered and deep fried.
Yeah, does it taste nice?
Oh, it's good.
It's not something I've ever thought about trying.
If you ever get down to Florida, try the alligator bites, they call them. They are real good.
Big Droll, I have not seen hide nor hair of a lady in this chat. Well, unless you count Blind Girl, I don't know. Honey Monster, are you female?
No, there's Jen. Jen's female.
Oh, Jen? Okay. There needs to be more females on the internet. Not enough females.
Well, I only need one female, so I'm fine.
Thank you for that, Scotty.
Now you're back.
I've been back for a while. I've just been sitting here watching my family taunt the cat.
And we're reading Chinese.
Yeah, see, Jen says she's a lady. The big girl has balls. So, fucking Tony wants to have balls.
And apparently, from what that looks like, Trucker's gonna have to sit there for 30 minutes.
Alligator is quite tasty. I've never had it. Yeah, it does need more vagina, as I say. How can you watch what, big girl? Well, half of you are crazy, so I'm being nice here. Yeah, I was going to say only half. I'm pretty sure every single person that's ever come over here has been crazy. Including me. That's fine.
Sanity is highly overrated. I don't know why anyone uses it.
Yeah, who needs to be normal, one? Right, New York bans gay and trans panic defenses.
Okay, first we need to establish what the fuck is a panic defense.
The article does tell you that. That's why I'm going to get to it.
Oh, okay.
New York becomes the sixth state to ban the so-called gay and trans panic defense on Sunday as millions of revelers celebrated World Pride in Manhattan. The panic defense asks a jury to find the victim's sexual orientation or gender identity is to blame for the defendant's violent reaction, including even murder. So, what they do... So am I going to assume here that they're just going to assume that if they murder or attack a trans person or whatever, that they're just going to assume they did it because they're trans, or are they going to...
I'm guessing surprise penis.
Or are they just going to take it like as a murder case? Because it could go either way. Although it's New York, so I'm pretty sure they'll just assume that they did it because they're trans. And therefore it's automatically just going to be a hate crime, isn't it?
Probably.
Is it a chest opening? Chest opening, no. Surprise what? I don't know, big deal.
Oh, yeah, like, you know, you get a lady home, and then all of a sudden, you get her panties off, and surprise, there's a wiener. I'm guessing that's what this is talking about.
But then I want to know whether they're going to go just for a hate crime automatically, or just take it as like a normal crime, like a murder, without thinking like the person's trans or whatever.
Yeah, most likely they're going to do hate crime.
Automatically, even if it wasn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the panic defense is basically anything that happens to a trans or a gay person is automatically assumed as a hate crime?
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was like special, like pepper spray or some shit, like trans panic defense, pepper spray, ha! But
That's why I'm asking what way are they going with this.
Okay, fair enough.
Are they going to assume it's just a hate crime anyway, just because the person's trans or whatever, or are they going to just charge it as a normal crime without going the hate crime route?
Which, I mean, what is the glory of charging as a hate crime versus a violent crime? Is it just more sentencing?
I think so, yeah.
Takes into account the motive.
Oh, motive. Oh, shit. I guess it automatically proves a motive, even if the motive, like...
And that's what it's supposed to be. But the way that if it's just, automatically a hate crime if you assault a gay person, that's going against the original intention of the law. It's really supposed to be, because we understand how ideology can sometimes motivate violence, right? It's the same reason why terrorism is a separate distinction.
Okay.
If you blew up something because Islam, and so we would recognize that as terrorism. If you beat up a gay person because you had some horrible anti-gay ideology operating on your brain.
Oh, reaction. Trucker saying reactionary offense.
But that means you're assuming motive without having to actually prove it, does it not?
Yeah. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're probably end up doing.
So then that would be guilty before proven anything. Like, you don't have to even prove it. You just know here's the motive right there. Like, you don't even have to prove a motive anymore. You can just label one.
We just know it's first degree murder.
Or they could go the other way and just charge it as a crime and not a hate crime.
Yeah, like, I mean, that actually is kind of really
Well,
deceitful.
Tucker does bring out a point. Hate crime is modifier, not an actual crime. So it'd be like tacked on. And Skills is here.
M&M's, fucker.
Hello,
Sex.
Yes, sex. I agree.
But yeah, I just wanted to clarify. So with the panic defense, that was a law there where it was like you didn't know that someone was gay or a tranny or whatever, and you just lash out of fear. That would be taken into consideration. So it's like, so if you got like you ended up killing someone, it's like it would probably be charged as like manslaughter instead of murder. That's what the panic defense was.
So we got lesser charge than not more charge because it wouldn't be seen as a hate crime then.
Yeah, and since it's New York, I'm just assuming that that anything like that's probably going to automatically be charged as a hate crime.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Or we could have gone the other way. In my opinion, hate crime is just bullshit anywhere.
Yeah.
If you kill someone, it should just be like you get a murder charge.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about the motive.
Yeah. Unless it's like a communist or something, then it's all good.
Yeah. New York has always been the home of LGBT equality movement.
Objectively false.
Said Governor Andrew Cuomo. Signing into the law, signing the ban into law, it started here. It started at Stonewall, it started when we hosted the first ever Pride. Yeah. And we kept that legacy alive. This is the leading state in the US for LGBTQ equality. What rights do I have that they don't?
None, but they all have to be oppressed, and no one is oppressing them.
Yeah, they have all the same rights we have. They just one more, I guess.
Yeah.
Misdemeanor assault. Hate crime is not a modifier. Not crime itself. Misdemeanor assault, 1 year assault. Assault 1 year. Assault with hate crime modifier. Minimum 5 years, maximum 6 years. Don't panic. Don't panic about what Honey wants then. New York follows California, Rhode Island, Illinois, Nevada, and Connecticut to pass such law. Signing the legislation was the best way to kick off the Pride NYC March. The governor tweeted. One of the nation's most recognized cases in which the strategy was applied to is that of Matthew Shepard, an openly gay Wyoming college student who was beaten and left hanged on a fence post by 2 men in 1998. One of the defendants argued that he acted out of fear generated by alleged sexual advance by Shepard, who died 5 days after the assault. New York City is playing close to Worldwide, the largest LGBTQ celebration. That was a Dad's Army reference. I've only seen like Dad's Army like once or twice.
I was going to go with Panic at the Disco.
It's the first time World Pride is being held in the US. And it's taking place during the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, generally highlighted as a flashpoint in the start of the modern gay rights movement.
Frankly, I'm surprised that they're still referring to it as the Stonewall riots. You'd think they would have by now changed it to like the Stonewall protests or something to make it sound like it wasn't a violent series of riots.
Yeah, you think they would because they like to rewrite history, but you know.
Yeah, you think they would, but
So I just listened to my brother rant for like 2 minutes about why hate crimes are an important thing to distinguish from other crimes?
Well, I mean, I believe they're different. Well, I believe it's no different than having like different degrees of murder, or just it's important to just always take into account the motive of the crime.
You should come closer.
The problem with the way hate crimes are being, like with what the article you're reading right now, like one of the problems is that or the article you were reading is that sometimes people see hate crimes as just any violence against a minority regardless of the motive, and that's false. It has to be like the motive has to be you're attacking them because they're a member of that group. That has to be the motive before it's a hate crime. I think that's a very important aspect of it.
Yeah, I also think that you should. I also think that you should just be like charged like as a murder instead of like. I don't think the motive should count.
Well, the motive does count, and the reason why the motive count is because jails are there to rehabilitate so that you can go back into the general population. So the motives actually, in fact, matter because of the likelihood that you are to reoffend. That's why there's different degrees of murder. So, for example, if it's an aggravated assault, you just did it because some guy pissed you off. So you might be likely to reoffend, knocking someone else for calling you a nigga, but you're not going to go crazy versus a serial killer that's just fucking killing people for no goddamn reason. So you actually do need to distinguish hate crimes from regular because you need to figure out the likelihood they are to reoffend.
Same thing too.
But then,
the reason why terrorism is a separate thing is because
the motive matters. It's not the end result. The motive does matter. The motive for why humans do things completely matters. Because if you killed some guy for sleeping with your wife versus you're just killing people to kill people, the likelihood that you're going to keep killing people versus the reasoning, the motive definitely matters. So if you've got a Hitler supporter that is like reading kill the Jews all day and then they go out and kill a Jew, the likelihood when they get out of jail to go kill another Jew is very high versus if a guy just wanted a Jew's wallet and stabbed a Jew, that's not a hate crime. The motive matters. Yeah, the fact that he's Jewish is incidental, so that doesn't matter. But you've got to take that into account when you're dealing with the jail system because jails are there to rehabilitate and eventually dump you back into society, right? So
you said something funny, blind girl. You said a rehabilitation. There is no such thing.
Well, that was the purpose of it. Whether it does it or not is a different story. But that technically is the purpose of jail.
Technically, yes, but it ain't used that way.
Obviously, that doesn't mean that's not what it was intended for.
There's a reason the recidivist rate is so high.
Yeah. So, but my point being that motive matters, and we shouldn't sit there and go, "Well, you know what, dude? Fuck hate crimes. Like, they're just like every other crime. Like motive matters, especially for sentencing."
Yeah. Man crossing Mexico border collapses and dies in U.S. custody. He was traveling with his car. His age is unknown. A man crossing the U.S.-Mexico border collapsed at a border station and died later at a hospital, officials said on Saturday. The 43-year-old has not been named. Was originally from El Salvador, and he was accompanied by his daughter, whose age is unknown. Law enforcement at the Associated Press said the man had been held about a week at the Rio Grande Valley Central Processing Center in McAllen, Texas. He had medically checked and he had health issues. Congress and the Inspector General for the Health Department of Homeland Security have been notified of his death, as has the El Salvadorian government, according to a statement from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The statement said the cause of death is unknown. At the time of the statement, his daughter was still in the U.S. Border Patrol custody. The officials have requested an expected transfer to a shelter run by an agency that manages children who cross the border alone. She will be held in a shelter until she is released to a sponsor, a process that could take weeks. The anonymous official who spoke to the AP could not say more. The facility where she's being held is holding over 15,000 people, 9,000 more than its 4,000 capacity. Actually, that doesn't make sense. How is it 9,000 more? If it's surely it's 11,000 more.
Yeah, that math doesn't add up. What?
Yeah. 15,000 people, 9,000 more than its 4,000 capacity. That doesn't.
Yeah, that'd be 13,000.
That'd be 11,000 more.
Yeah, I was saying, and yeah, 9,000 plus 4,000. That's 13,000. So yeah, there's 1,000. There's like 2,000 missing somewhere in this equation.
And I'm back.
Yeah, that math does that.
That person needs not own a dog. Sorry.
Did you see it?
Yes. I just couldn't process what I saw until you mentioned it.
So I'm thinking, how am I supposed
ADHD
to
much?
believe this if the? How am I supposed to believe this if they can't even get the maths right?
Yeah. Yeah, very bad optics right there.
Way to advertise yourself independent. You're supposed to be a broad kid. You're supposed to be smart, but clearly you fucked up on that one. Fake news. The unsafe and sanitary conditions inside the stations are meant to be in place for temporary holding. This, according to attorneys and advocates who have visited the centre. Again, how am I supposed to believe that when you can't get your maths right? Fake news, yeah, probably. Teens and children are only supposed to be held for 72 hours, but they are often held for several days or weeks, even with expected.
So you want them just released onto the street after 72 hours?
Yep. But again, they're saying that there's more than the capacity, therefore it's going to take longer, isn't it? It's expected it would take longer if it's apparently more than its capacity. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Sending them back across the border would make sense.
That's what they should do, though, but it's difficult when they're kids, though, isn't it?
That's their problem. They come across, they can go back.
Yeah, if they're kids, they're often forced to come across.
They just send them up here for medical help and all that stuff that we have to pay for.
Well, they'll send them up to the US so they can hope that they'll sympathize with them more if they have kids.
Yep.
And then you'll be more likely to let them in.
Process them as a group and send them back as a group.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yep. Maybe help them find their parents at least, and then send them back and find their parents. Or a relative or something, I don't know. Even with the expedited processing, it is unclear how long the daughter will remain at the McAllen facility. At least 2 other adults and 5 children have died in custody since the center, including a teenage boy who died from the flu. They had been at the Central Processing Center in McAllen last month. More than 2 dozen others were sick from the flu in an outbreak there in May, and the facility was briefly shut down and sanitized. Well, you shouldn't have crossed the border legally then, should you?
Nope.
And also, this is why they have to be checked, because they may have diseases that you don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, unchecked immigrants is just a good way to have all the diseases that have been defeated come back. You know, like the bubonic plague.
Yeah, that's why stuff like polio and stuff's on the rise, isn't it? Because
bubonic plague, smallpox, bubonic plague, smallpox,
fucking polio.
It's all making a comeback because of illegal immigration.
Yeah, from countries where they don't have vaccinations and stuff.
Well, it's not all, and it's not always that they don't have vaccinations. It's the fact that they'll come here because the U.S. will give them those vaccinations.
Yeah. Last week, a photo of a man and his infant daughter, also from the drowned in the Rio Grande, shocked many American Democrats to demand to send emergency aid to help alleviate the inhumane conditions at the border were shot down by Republican Mitch McConnell in the Senate. His revised bill left safety precautions for children was approved by Democrat Nancy Pelosi in the House shortly after it came before her.
Oof.
I would actually quite likely to. I would quite enjoy to see one particular. I'm not sure if regulation would be the right word. If a child comes into or if an immigrant comes into the U.S., if they're going to be granted asylum in any reason for any purpose, now Mr. would be the one to answer this question because I don't know if it's the same as it used to. But at one point, if you went into the military, you got vaccinated whether you wanted to or not, whether you've already been vaccinated or not.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it was when I got out. It was once you get to wherever you're going, and every 6 months to every 6 months or a year, whatever you need, you would get every single vaccine, whether you wanted to or not.
Now, do they still use the gun?
No, with me it was just us roll up both sleeves. And the medic, and there'd be like 3 medics standing on each side of a row, each with like 4 needles in them. They just jam all of them into you as you'd walk by them.
So that gun with the 6 or 7 needles sticking out of it doesn't exist anymore.
I never saw it.
Okay.
They just had a bunch of specialists just jamming like 6 needles into each arm.
Do people ever go from Mexico through to the US to get to Canada?
Yes.
I assume so, yeah.
I know when I went to India, I ended up getting 11 shots.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go over there. Plus, I had to take malaria pills with me and then take one every week and then one every week when I got back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was like with one of my friends who, when he was in Iraq. And the funny thing is, the malaria pills that they were given didn't actually fight the strain of malaria that was in Iraq.
Well, what do you expect for the military? They give you pills to fight malaria that's not the strain that's there.
Yeah.
They give you ear protection that didn't work.
Yep.
Anyway, shilling time.
It's sometimes amazing that you hear about the military actually getting working ammo from the way the military is ran.
Remember, everything was made by the lowest bidder.
Yep.
Yeah, military grade sounds really impressive until you've actually dealt with something that's military grade. To pass as military grade, all you have to do is just drop it from waist height onto any surface. If it doesn't break, it's military grade.
Anyway, shilling time. So show your stuff.
Pumpkin Trucker Channel, almost daily dash cam starting up again tomorrow. It's looking like it's going to be starting up at 2 p.m. Coming back to this fucking hellhole, Silver Spring, Maryland. Kill me.
Also, if anyone has any questions or anything.
Stream every Wednesday.
Porn. I've never seen porn on your stream once.
No, we talk about it. Not allowed to show it.
I mean,
depends on the porn.
Monkey does
I mean, you could.
You could show soft porn. Monkey does that a lot.
I've shown tits on my streams before.
So it's Peter Almond.
Yeah.
Monkey literally showed a cunt on his stream once before.
Yep.
That's why I had to do one of them.
Trippy's Trippy has had full on vagina on his stream before. Anyway, my channel's in the chat at sub. We got Sunday Fun Day tonight. Woohoo! It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, go and watch that. Head over to here in half an hour. Oh, what the fucking hell happened there? My charge just fucked up. No. Right. Head over here in half an hour. If you're not a dick. If you
Be
don't
there.
know, you're a
Be
dick.
there or you're a nerd.
Yeah, come see me because I'm so adorable.
You're not supposed to call yourself adorable, you know.
I just did. Come on, am I wrong?
No, but you're not supposed to call yourself that.
Aw, thank you, Scotty.
Scotty, that's what you call conceited.
Conceded what? Anyhow,
I'm staying out of that.
same time tomorrow. I'll hell be well. You're all a bunch of cunts. Don't piss in the shower curtain. Goodbye.